After everything, I'll be lucky if I have like $30 to spend on myself. Pretty much everything. Like I work the lobby and like sweep and wiping tables, or sometimes they have me working grill. I'm usually on fries because I have really good fries, I'll say that. But do that, or back of house, like doing dishes, scrubbing floors, stuff like that, cutting potatoes, prepping the food for the day and stuff like that. I've been put on fries since day one, basically, which is why mine are so good. So I'm like, okay, I'd like to be taken off of fries for a little bit because it's a big wear down on my arms, and you get like blisters on the inside of your fingers and stuff like that. I'm just like, I don't want to deal with that for a while. So can we put me on something else? There's a weird aspect for labor there. Like we do like calculations throughout the day and factor in how many people we have working and what they're being paid. And so like there would be some instances where I'd be scheduled to work for 8 hours, but because we're not getting as much business that day, I could only work 4. So they sent me home early. Or the breaking system that they have at Five Guys, it's like you're supposed to work for 4 hours before you get a break, but oftentimes, you know, you'll be working for an hour and they'll put you on a break, save for the labor cost. But then after your 45-minute, 30-minute break, then you're working nonstop for the next 6 hours. And it's like, you know, and then in the rights, like in the contract, it says you have to work 4 hours before you get your break, but they'll be breaking people beforehand and just throwing stuff off like that. Like just throwing off the whole swing of the day because you're like, okay, I've got a long shift, I get a break in the middle of it, and they're like, no, you take your break an hour after you've been here, or half an hour after you've been here to save for labor, and then you're working the rest of the solid block. Well, we definitely should be getting paid more, and not just the crew workers, but all of us. Anybody making below 15 should be getting that 15. It would do a lot. It would definitely increase the value of life that people like me have in our positions, because it's like working every day, making, you know, less than 10 an hour. It's like that work, it makes me feel like my work isn't really appreciated, but just, you know, so there's that, just, you know, just having the extra bit of money would help me feel more appreciated and increase the quality of my life and my work. But then also it's like being paid the little amount, it's like, and as many hours as I'm working, it's like I'm still not making, like working full time, I'm not making enough to be able to get out on my own, like to pay for like rent for an apartment and like utilities, or even like a car, like I take the bus, because that's the only way I can do it. Like I'm busting my ass every day at this job, but to be able to have a roof over my head and food to eat at the bare minimum, it's like that shouldn't be all life is, you know? So my dream career would be something in writing, I would say. Writing, or I'd say professional video gaming. But again, that's just this whole other crazy industry that is kind of intense and really tough to get into. Like you got to be super good at it, and I'm not really like some badass awesome video game player. I just play like my free time for fun. But it's like that would be a cool thing to be able to do if I could handle it. Like you see them talk about it, they're like, oh well, you know, people want 15 an hour, why don't we just give them $100 an hour? The people that I see saying the stuff like that, they're usually like, you know, middle-agers or like baby boomers. You know, they worked and went to school at a very different time in, you know, the history of the US, so they're out of touch with the way that is. They see it, they just think it's something laughable, like we don't deserve that. So because we don't deserve 15, you know, why would we deserve 100? Something like that. They're just out of touch, and that's what a lot of the issue is that they just don't understand what it's like to be this young in this day and age and to be out there. And that's why they don't want to give us that much, because they're like, oh well, it's not a person we're paying to do this, it's a worker. They're supposed to be working and doing this, so why would we give them more? But they don't. It's like it creates a weird disconnect. They don't see us as people anymore. We're just workers. We're supposed to fall in line, do what we're told, and take the little money they give us and be grateful for it. It's not like funds that are just gonna get squandered into stupid shit, because it never is. It's just us living our lives the way we want to, as opposed to the way we're being forced to.